All right. What is your name and what is the name of your farm?
I'm Noah Poulos, and this is Wild East Farm.
How big is your farm?
So the whole farm is about 44 acres, and we produce vegetables and meat and fruit trees on about 12 acres of that.
That's pretty big. Um, let's see. Is there anything special your farm is known for, like a particular fruit, vegetable, or other product, or a specific growing method or agricultural practice you're known for? That's a
Yeah,
lot, I know.
couple things. We've become really known in the area for the quality of our chicken that we produce. It's all organic, pasture-raised chicken, and we sell whole chickens in different cuts. And the feedback we get from customers is that it's the best chicken they've ever had, and that's really a good feeling as the farmer. And then we're also kind of unique in having so many different parts of the farm. So we're not just a vegetable farm, we're not just an animal farm. We have 4 different types of animals at any time, and we produce a bunch of mixed vegetables as well. So seeing that mix of both different things is kind of unique for the area.
That's amazing. That's a little bit of everything. That's great. Now, considering you grow so many different things, you raise so many different foods, this is going to be kind of a hard question to answer, I think. But is there any type of special equipment you need to run your farm? Take your pick, your favorite.
Well, yeah, I get that question sometimes. What's my favorite tool on the farm? And I'll say the front loader on the tractor with the bucket
Okay.
is the best, because it's the difference between driving on the tractor for 10 minutes or taking 50 wheelbarrows by hand.
Ooh.
And we move a lot of mulch around the farm. We moving materials around. It's going to save our backs and keep us healthy and in good shape for a long time.
Yes, I know how that goes. And I was going to ask, so you do have a tractor. If you don't mind me asking, how much did that tractor cost? Like, what does a tractor these days?
Yeah, it was a
run?
used tractor, 75 horsepower
Wow.
with a front loader. We got it up in Tennessee for like $18,000.
Okay.
So it was a pretty good bargain for what it was. Yeah.
Absolutely. 75 is pretty
Yeah,
strong.
it's strong. Yeah, it's plenty.
Did you go to school to be a farmer? And if so, what kind of degree did you earn? How long did you have to go to school? And if not, how did you learn how to do what you do?
Yeah, so I went to school to study ecology and field biology. So I had the vision of being a biologist studying vertebrates out in Western North Carolina.
Ah.
And in that process of being in school and living at a place where my wife and I were growing our own food, I kind of had a light bulb moment where I could still do biology and ecology and just channel all that energy towards growing food, and become a farmer as a livelihood. So that's kind of how I got into it.
That's amazing. Applied biology. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
How many people does it take to run your farm?
So there's 4 of us working full time on the farm, and that's for this year and the scale that we're at right now, been a really good workforce for us. We really try to keep things to like 8-hour days, 5 days a week, and then like weekend animal chores. But we work manageable hours and are doing so with the 4 of us. As we expand in the next couple years, as we're still establishing and growing, we'll probably bring that to 5 or 6. But
Okay.
trying to keep it pretty small. Yeah,
Right.
tight crew.
Besides paying your employees, what other expenses are involved in running your farm? Like, what's the major expenses, I guess?
The biggest running cost of the farm is the feed for the animals.
Yeah.
So raising 3,000 broilers this year is it's like $60,000 worth of feed throughout the year.
Wow.
So it's a big cost because we're doing organic, so that costs about twice as much as conventional feed.
Wow.
So that's the biggest cost. Other than that, overhead of like buying animals, seeds for the gardens, starts, compost. Those are some of the material costs, and then there's back end stuff like insurance and different things like that.
Things people don't think about.
Yeah, have the business. Be
I know my kids
legitimate.
wouldn't think of that. That's
Yeah.
It's good. A good point. What's your most profitable crop or product that you produce on the farm?
So I would say we're just learning this year is we grew a little test patch of ginger in one of the tunnels that we have, and probably about 40 bed feet of ginger, and we did the math on what we're able to sell that for at market, and it comes out to like $80 per foot of bed.
Wow.
And so it's a very low maintenance crop. It doesn't really have any pests or diseases locally. And so we plant it in the spring, and it kind of just rocks through the summer, and we start picking it in August. And it flies at the farmer's market. We sell it as fresh ginger, so it's different from the kind of dried brown stuff you see at the store. It's this beautiful pink yellow ginger, and it's really potent and strong because it is fresh. And that's, I think if we had to pick one most profitable thing, that's the one. So we're going to plant a whole tunnel to it next year.
That's really cool. I mean, it's always important to think about those things, you know, planting things that produce easily and, you know, low input.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you plan to change crops or products in the near future? And if so, how? I guess you pretty much just told me that, yeah, you're going to start planting more ginger.
Planting more ginger. Yeah, we're trying to...
Your burger's ready.
Oh.
I'm just going to get her set
Yeah, you're
up
good.
real quick.
All right, here we go. Last question. This is usually the most fun for the kids. If you don't mind me asking, about how much money does your farm generate in profit in an average year?
In profit, so since we're just starting the farm, we're reinvesting pretty much all of the surplus money that we make into expanding and growing.
Makes sense.
Just so that we can get to that point pretty early on in the farm, you know, year 3, year 4, we're at the level of production where we're done with major investments. So a lot of that money's going out. We pay ourselves and our employees enough to live comfortably. But in terms of revenue, if that's of interest, like the gross sales, in our first year we did just over $100,000.
Wow.
This year we're on target to hit about 200,000, and then it's going to be kind of like year 3 will be 300,000 target, and then the long term, like viable income for the farm is around 350 to 400,000.
That's amazing, especially since you said you're in your second year now. And, you know, it takes a lot more than just knowing how to grow
well,
animals and plants.
We
and
like to say
veggies
by living here 10 years and being in the food community before starting the farm, we had customers before we even started the farm.
Yes.
Which I think can't be understated is
having that customer base,
community and the resources to tap in easily, because it's hard getting your foot in the door and everything, but certainly doable.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having us on the farm, and you know, look forward to showing this to the kids.
For sure.